What's going on, everybody? Happy end of 2023. I haven't sat down and done a video like this since I started the channel. So I guess you can call this a little bit of a life update, a little bit of a channel update, just kind of talking about my year in review and some things that are coming up for me during 2024. So this year was a fun one. I will try to put up some footage where I have it as I talk about some of the things that I've gotten to do this year. And let's start it off. So I started 2023 out as an assistant teacher, and I was making about $15 an hour. I was an assistant teacher as well as a music teacher. I was spending a lot of time making my own curriculum for infants, toddlers, as well as preschoolers, and that job was really rewarding with the kids, but had a lot of struggles with just communication and the way that things were kind of being handled that way, and I tried to bring some of those concerns to the table, and it didn't go extraordinarily well, and at that point I knew that I needed to start looking to find something else. And so I put out a lot of different applications to a lot of different places, trying to see where my particular skill set might be able to get me. And in June, I got an offer from a local Boys and Girls Club, and took the job on the spot in the interview, and started a job that has been absolutely incredibly rewarding. And so from there, I worked Boys and Girls Club for the summer, and I had applied to the full-time position that I have. I had actually applied way back in like January or February of this year, and finally heard back from them in, I think, late July, early August. Went in for an interview and was also offered that job a little bit later, and that comes with some complications that I'm happy to kind of go more in depth on in a minute. But so now I'm working two jobs, a full-time job as a paraprofessional in a preschool classroom, as well as a youth development professional at the Boys and Girls Club, where I work with a variety of age groups and am set to implement some really cool new programming at club, more of which I'm happy to talk about in a little bit. But that's kind of the work side of the equation. And as far as progression and just like what I've gone through this year, I think I've learned a lot. The first big thing that I've learned for me and working is you can't please people all of the time, and you have to be able to draw limits of the things that you're willing to put up with and how you are going to articulate those things. And when you've reached limits or when lines have been crossed by other people, you have two options, or at least I did, and it was either put up with it and continue being treated somewhat unfairly, or in some cases very unfairly, and say nothing because it was a job and it was steady and it was going okay, or try to bring attention to it and try to do something about it, and then look for something else that was hopefully going to be better for me. And not only did I find two jobs that pay much more fairly for the work that I'm doing, and it's not all about the money, but that does make a big difference. But I also found two jobs that, for the most part, have been very willing to work with me, not without challenge, but that makes a big difference. So those are kind of things that I've learned, and now I work 60-hour weeks, and it's really exhausting, but I love my kids, and I think trying to find things that mean a lot and that you can really contribute to, that's something that I've been able to do this year. So from there, I'll talk about the second heavy-hitting topic, which is more recent, which is the vision stuff, and that some of that ties in with work, obviously, because vision affects lots of things, and I'm no exception to that. So I have retinopathy of prematurity, as I've talked about. I have cataracts, and I have glaucoma. I just got a glaucoma surgery about 3 weeks ago now, and have recovered really well. The surgery went really well, but there is the possibility that coming up in 2024, I may have to have cataract surgery, which is a prospect that is more than a little bit nerve-wracking for a variety of reasons, but It's something I'm happy to talk a little bit more about. It's something that right now, without a lot of numbers and really specific things, I'm not willing to go ahead with, but I have a couple appointments between me and having to make that decision, and so hopefully as those appointments come across, it'll be easier to talk about those things, articulate them, and I will continue to do that here on the channel for those who are interested in that sort of thing. Last is the fun stuff, and 2023 was a really good year. I have an amazing girlfriend who got, for my birthday a couple years ago, I got to go see one of my favorite bands, Goose, in concert. That was in 2022. And so this year I had the chance to go see them again with her and another buddy of mine. And I think it was one of the coolest concerts that I've ever seen. It was just really fun. They played a lot of great songs. Like I said, I'll try to throw up some footage where I can to talk about these things. So that was kind of the kickoff to the year. That was really fun. I had the chance to go to opening day at Target Field with the Minnesota Twins, and I'm hoping to make a tradition out of that with a buddy of mine from my last job, who I'm still great friends with, and he's a big baseball guy, so that's been fun. The last 2 years I've been able to do that. This year, got to see something really special, and that was a walk-off win.
Kyle Porter!
Come on, Kyle! Yeah! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Yeah! So hopefully you enjoyed that. That was pretty cool, and that was a lot of fun. And around the time that I was like gonna start switching jobs, we being my girlfriend and her sister and I took a trip to Kansas City.
We decided to check out Union Station, and this is like the main hall. There's like Hogwarts noise. What? This is pretty wicked. This is a thing that people built. This is amazing. I'm back. It's 10 o'clock. Town Topic, round 2. You betcha.
We hate
Hey, it's an Echo Tube.
Hey, it's an Echo Tube.
Alright, we're walking downtown. We're gonna go try the County Road Icebox something barbecue stuff. maybe do some jazz, maybe ride the streetcar, seeing how many things we can get in one go. We finally found a fountain. We've been looking for them. We have not found them. We found one. Here she comes, the KC streetcar. I just gotta stop for the road. To follow the same rules as everybody else. Hop this thing, see where she goes. Looking at this thing for a couple days.
Oh, cool.
And just like that, we are at the city market stop. Neat little KC streetcar for you. While we were here at night, here's a look at the main hall here during the day. A lot busier, that's for sure. A lot more going on here at Union Station. Pretty cool place to check out.
And I've got some really cool videos up on the channel about the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, my trip to a Kansas City Royals game, and the Arabia Steamboat Museum, which all were fantastic. Highly recommend you checking those out. But that was one of my favorite vacations I've ever been on because we got to like pick our own things, and it was one of the first times that I went on a lot of vacations growing up, but obviously you're a kid, so you're kind of tagging along, and maybe you get a choice here or there, but being able to truly like just decide to do things and the adventures that followed, that was a fun trip. And that leads into things that I'm going to do next year, which I'll get into in a little bit. But the other big thing for me this year was getting to see one of my favorite singer-songwriters, Sean James, in concert in St. Paul, and that was awesome. I had the chance to meet him. I got a poster. I did the whole VIP thing because it's like, when are you ever going to get the chance to meet one of your favorite artists? And so I have a picture of me with him, and got a signed poster and stuff like that. So that was really, really cool, and a very special concert, very neat. And I'm hoping to do more of that next year. One of my favorite bands is going to be coming to Minneapolis, the Hip Abduction, so I'm hoping to catch them next year. Maybe see Goose if they come back around. Sean James, same deal. And, you know, maybe more besides. We'll have to see on that front. That was a lot of the big travel things. Other than that, for me, it was a lot of, like, trying to just grow. You know, working is one thing, and trying to, you know, gain new skills as a teacher is something that, regardless of the amount of training that I have or the fact that I don't have a degree, I think I've learned a lot this year about working with kids, about how I work with kids. You know, specifically, I work well with the younger ones at times. I like to be silly with them and you know, bring out the fun a little bit, because I think a lot of teachers are they either don't have the time or they think it's too stressful to let loose, and I think for me, I like to do that, especially with littles. So for example, with my preschoolers, they'll hand me a snack and they'll say, "Oh, Mr. M, can you please open this?" And I'll be like, "Oh, a snack for me? Like, thank you." And of course they're like, no, don't eat it. And I'm like, "I'm not gonna eat your snack," you know. But then I can also kind of ramp it up when I need to and be more serious and have those sit down moments, even with kids as young as, you know, 4 or 5 years old, about important things. And they know that when I, you know, go into that more serious mode, that there's something I have to say. And I think that's something that I found a better balance with here in 2023, and I hope to carry with me into next year. I'm looking for improvement. You know, you never, at least for me as a teacher, you're never done learning. You're never done. I've had kids teach me so much, just about myself, or about the way that I do things. And this is where I want to tell a really cool story. I will not out this specific person, but we're doing an activity at Boys and Girls Club, and one of our members, they were evaluating each other, the members were. And I said, well, I'm open to that as a staff if you guys want to evaluate me. Something we call warm fuzzies and cold pricklies. So basically, warm fuzzies are good things, cold pricklies are things that could use some work. And I said, I'm open to receive that criticism in the same way that you guys are with each other as a staff. And a member told me that they'd be willing to do it, but that they needed some time. And being visually impaired, I honestly figured maybe they would have the other kids like fill out the forms and then they would read them to me, which would have been really touching. But I was not ready for what happened next, which is the fact that without Braille knowledge, without a Braille writing apparatus of any sort, this member made a handwritten with puffy paint and a clay like detailing tool. They made a sheet with the Braille answers on it to those warm fuzzies and cold pricklies, and they were incredibly honest with me, and it just blew me away, the level of dedication, and meant a lot. And they are now framed on my wall, because for that to come from somebody that I've been able to work with and spend time with, and for that to make that big of a difference, and then for that person to put in that time and dedication to do something honest and that impactful, really meant a lot to me. I also had one of my preschoolers for Christmas, of her own volition. She got me a mug with Braille on it, which was really cool. So, to me, you never know the impact you're going to have on certain kids. And it might be someone you're not expecting to have an impact on. It might be someone that you've struggled with, or that other people have struggled with and may view as, a challenge kiddo or something. And to me, it's about building relationships. That's one of the biggest things that I've been trying to work on this year, personally, professionally, and otherwise, is building relationships. Making the right choices, communicating. And those are things that aren't always easy, but I think they're things that I would like to say I've improved on, and I hope that's true. And I want to keep doing that as we move into 2024. All right, now the fun stuff. What am I doing next year? There's one big one. It's taking place in March. If you know me in real life, you know that I won't shut up about going to California. And the reason I'm going to California is because I'm going to be donating my hair in the Great Cut 2024. And I'm so excited about this as a teacher, because the organization that we are donating to is called Children with Hair Loss. They make hair replacements for children struggling with hair loss, medical-related hair loss. So I'm really excited to help this organization, to hopefully contribute towards a Guinness Book of World Records record for the most hair donated to charity. I think it's in a 24-hour period, something like that. I'll look up the specifics and get back to you on that, but I'm really excited, and I have my lodging figured out. I'm working on getting tickets to the event itself squared away with some accessibility issues, which shout out to the Long Hairs and their customer support, because they've been really helpful, and I'm really excited about that. And then all I have to do is book a flight, and we're locked and loaded, ready to roll. So I am so excited for that. And that's like the biggest thing of the year for me, is getting to go on this trip, hopefully meet some really cool people. I will absolutely be doing some form of vlog for that trip. You know me, so that vlog may not come out until October of next year, but hey, I'm doing what I can, okay? But yeah, that's the big one in 24. Might be moving house. Not sure about that one, so we'll take a pause on that, but it is a possibility for sure. And other than that, just continuing to do the things I'm doing, continue growing, and I hope that you will stick with me. This was a rambly one for sure, and might be coming out before the new year. We'll see how much time editing takes me, but really appreciate all of you who have stuck around this year, and whether it's for the baseball content, the music, the occasional video gaming things, planty stuff. This channel is just a representation of the things I like to do and like to put together. And the fact that nearly 150 of you are willing to take part in that in whatever form you choose to is awesome, and I appreciate you. And I hope that whatever your goals are in 24, or whatever you've learned in 23, you carry that with you. And if you want to share those things, I'd be happy to have a discourse with you all down in the comment section about this year, next year, anything at all. If you have any questions for me, don't hesitate to ask those. And whatever you celebrate, happy holidays to you. And I hope the new year's good for you and your family. And with all that being said, I'm going to hit the road here. I've rambled on a little more than long enough. So appreciate you guys. Happy New Year. And we'll see you soon. Peace.